Hi guys, so before 2014 comes to close, I thought I would discuss some of my favorite reads this year. None of the books I will be discussing today are rereads, and also they are books that I've never talked about on here before. And I made this. I know it's not Christmas anymore, but I'm pretty proud of myself. So the first category is Learn Something, books that make you think. First book that I will be talking about is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. I had heard Rosanna from Miss X Rojas talk about this book a lot, and then I heard a lot of other YouTubers talk about this, and if you don't know, it's just Sheryl talks about women and the workplace and her experience as a woman in the workplace and how she's gone to where she is, and there's lots of great tips, there's a lot of great information. I really love this. It's very inspiring. The next book is The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. I've always loved Joan Didion's style of writing. This is nonfiction. She talks about the year after her husband dies and kind of also before, and about her life and just how her life was. It's really beautiful. The last book in this category is Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. It is a collection of essays all written by Roxane Gay. I'm not finished it yet. I'm a little bit more than halfway. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. She talks about herself. She talks about gender and sexuality. She talks about race. It's fantastic, and she's just super smart and poignant, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. Next category is a bit of romance. So the first books is the Bridget Jones Diaries series. So Bridget Jones Diary, Bridget Jones The Edge of Reason, and Bridget Jones Mad About the Boy, which I don't own. I loved all three. I know a lot of people were kind of weary about the third one, but I really loved it because I found it was kind of different than the first two. Bridget Jones is in like another place in her life, so it's a little bit more mature, it's different, and I love them. They're just a really good feel-good read, and they're funny, and there's romance, and it's Pride and Prejudice. It's great. Loved it. You should read it if you haven't. I'm probably like one of the only people that have never read them before. Also in this category this year, I've read everything by Rainbow Rowell. But I'm not going to talk about that yet because although I loved everything, and she's now one of my favorite authors, I'm going to talk about her in another video because I could go on and on and on. The next book that I will be talking about is Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. Now, I know if you've been around here for a while that I love Stephanie Perkins. I think we should be friends. And my favorite book of hers is Anna and the French Kiss, and this concludes the trilogy. It's not really a trilogy because you can read them each separately, but you see the different characters in all the books. So this book focuses on Isla and Josh, who you first see in Anna and the French Kiss. It's just wonderful and sweet, and it's a feel-good book, and I love it, and it makes me happy. And also there was a very nice Anna and the French Kiss moment in here that made me very, very happy. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you're a fan of Anna and ATN, you need to read this. You just, oh my god. I'm Anna. I'm Anna. Where? Okay. The last book that I will be talking about is My True Love Gave to Me, 12 Holiday Stories. This book is edited by Stephanie Perkins and has 12 different authors. So I'm not that familiar with most of these authors. I've read Stephanie Perkins and Rainbow Rowell. I've read some of books by David Levithan. And that's it. That's it. This is a YA book, and it's all has to do with the holidays. It's a good sit by a fireplace and cozy up with a blanket read. The next category is books that will make you laugh out loud on public transportation. The first book I'll be talking about is Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Broche. I wasn't that familiar with Ali Broche. This book is very funny, and she knows when to make you laugh, and she knows when to make you kind of feel something and learn something. She talks about mental illness and depression. The next book I will be talking about is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me by Mindy Kaling. I don't own it, and I love female celebrity comedy books about their life, but they're funny women. I love them. Mindy Kaling writes about her life. She starts off when she was a child. She's kind of writes about how she got her start. It also makes you want to be a writer in television, or maybe that's just me. Next book is Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, who is also known as the bloggist online. And I finished this recently. It's hilarious. It's very funny. It's very weird and odd. There's some chapters that are kind of sad, but then she makes you laugh right away. The next book is Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I love Amy Poehler. I love Parks and Rec. I just love Amy Poehler. She's smart, she's kind, she's everything. So she talks about her childhood, how she got to where she is. She talks about Parks and Rec, SNL, everything. It's wonderful. She's such a nice person. You know, this will also make you want to just be a writer and like take some improv class. The last book in this category is This Is Importance by Gregory Betts. It's a tiny cute little book. Gregory Betts is a university professor and he teaches literature, and this is a collection of answers students have given him on various tests and essays. If you are a literary nerd, you're going to enjoy this. It's very cute. It's also Canadian, so there's some Canadian references. The last category is miscellaneous. So the first book is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. It's the first Jeffrey Eugenides book that I've read, and I loved it. It's a beautifully written book. He creates this fantastic kind of dream-like atmosphere, and writing is fantastic. The last book that I'll be talking about is A Long Way Down by Nick Hornby. This is the first Nick Hornby book that I've read, and it's about these 4 people who on New Year's Eve decide they want to kill themselves. They don't know each other, but they all go to the same building, and then they kind of start this friendship. It's a beautiful book. It's funny. I actually got this while I was on vacation in Italy, Franciano, and whenever we kind of had a break, I would kind of break this out and read. You know, I would highly recommend. Those were some of my favorite books in 2014. I'd love to know what some of your favorite reads were this year. Also, if you've read any of these, what do you think? And see you in 2015. Bye guys.